the next generation. Players, you know, like Collect, players like Manny that have established themselves as now household names in the Halo community that now can compete along the likes of the Formals, the Snakebites, the Ecos of the world who have been at this for such a long time. This is where everything collides to. And for FaZe Clan, you know, you talk about the players like the Youngblood and all that stuff that's on this team, but you have to also talk about the veterans that are on that FaZe lineup there. Guys like Spartan, they're going to be looking to lead the charge here the only way that he knows how, but this is it. Do or die. Backs against the wall. Oxygen Esports, FaZe Clan. The battle begins. These players are loading into the lobby, and Tony, it's Champ Sunday, baby. It doesn't get any better than this.
It's the Young Guns versus the veterans, and now we're gonna find out, is this the passing of the torch, or are FaZe ready to take what's rightfully theirs? Game number 1, capture the flag on Bazaar.
FaZe and Oxygen have really had quite the tumultuous journey up until this point, but to make it to Championship Sunday of the biggest event of the year, it really is a testament to just how talented these 8 players are. And here we go, folks. FaZe versus Oxygen, and we're kicking things off with King Nick.
Both of these teams playing capture the flag on Bazaar. Neither one of these teams really wanted to see this, especially for so much on the line. It's not their bread and butter whatsoever.
I don't think anyone wants to see Bazaar.
Very true.
You know, I mean, look, let's be honest. This is a tough map to play, man. You're normally not going to go to the distance, or sorry, you're normally not going to go for the points here. It's just going to go all the way to regulation.
Well, at least both of these teams will be warmed up, because I promise we're going to see at least 12 minutes worth of action, maybe even an extra 3 minutes overtime. We're also going to see Spartan taking advantage of the overshield, but only a double melee onto one. Doesn't exactly have the help that he was looking for. Oxygen successfully pushed FaZe out of their base.
And a big kill there from Bohm. Actually, 2 players down now as Nick and Falcade are going to go down over toward the alley. Renegade's going to have to just wait this one out and see where the movement's going to be coming for Oxygen, as Nemesis and Collect are going to be located mid-map. And he's looking to see where the next targets are going to be, and there's going to be one located right in front of him, but the Bulldog is going to find its way over to the carcass there of that FaZe player, and that's going to be Boehm who receives that kill. But now it seems like FaZe just getting ready for this next round of slays here. FaZe, they're going to have themselves with their back against the wall. Oxygen looking to pounce.
Multiple members of Oxygen Esports now pushing past the 50% portion of the map. They're now trying to get into the base of FaZe, trying to turn the defense into offense, but of course FaZe clutching up on that one. Boehm right at Renegade with that.
This is an opportunity. This is an opportunity here. You got players down inside of the base. And you know what, though? While all that was going on, Spartan was actually in a fight and looking to make progress inside of the base, but that trade is not going to result to all that much for FaZe Clan. And Oxygen looked like they were primed and ready to go to jump on this opportunity, but it ends up not working out for them there. And they got to go back to the drawing board, Tony. This was a pretty solid run so far, and Oxygen showing that they can go toe-to-toe against some of the best in the world.
Renegade ends up going down right as that overshield pops up. Spartan playing a little dipsy doodle a bit, fighting for that overshield, wins out one battle, but the cleanup crew is in, and now that overshield should be able to be snatched up by Oxygen Esports. Big battles going in towards the mid-map, but Oxygen take advantage.
Nick does get the call that Collect has popped that overshield, but they're going to try and see if they can keep their eyes on him here, as Collect's going to be down low. Tryon is going to get caught out in the middle of the open field there, but Collect does manage to find himself a kill. A weakened Spartan in front of him is going to be easy pickings, and that's going to be a dubski for him, but he's also looking to see where he can find the next FaZe player, and he has to back away to deal with that. Falcade looking to create some space and an opportunity, but Tony, FaZe players are going down left, right, and center.
Nobody gets past Collect as FaZe find themselves 3 down.
Flag's
moving in for flag. Already pushing past the overextenders, now starting to come in for FaZe right as rockets are coming up. This next round of slays is going to be critical.
2 down.
And Collect gets himself a rocket launcher.
They have the rocket launcher, Tony. This is crazy. Flag's going to be all the way over toward the Oxygen Esports side. Collect's going to bring that flag closer, gets the kill on Sparty, and now he's dragging the flag up the stairs. Oxygen Esports draw first blood on Bazaar CTF against a very game FaZe Clan.
What goes up must come down, so FaZe up, FaZe down. 0-1. Oxygen taking the lead, and Collect still having one rocket to work with. Now going to try to push up because obviously their job is not done yet. You still have to push up. You still have to the slaves you're looking for. He gets himself a double kill. Gets him a triple kill. Collect is collecting skulls.
The collection agency is out, baby. And he's all up in the business of FaZe Clan. Now they're going to see if they can identify these next few kills here. But let's go ahead and jump into an Oxygen Esports listening. I got to hear these comms.
Need SOS, Kyle.
I hear you. Okay, I'm leaving you. I'm leaving as well. I got naded. I have no idea from where.
It's all you, James. It's all you, James.
Alright, I have it. Outside. Nice. R3, one shot.
Nice.
Come on,
Good job.
me BR.
Push through. We can pull this.
BR weak, Nick.
They're tree. They're on the green gun.
They're tree weak.
One shot their tree.
Their tree's one.
They're BR. Live. Just be a hard kill.
Show me tree.
I'm looking at you.
They're BR as well. They're BR in tree. He's just sitting on the Mando.
BR now. Window.
Big foul out.
One
One more.
One shot there. Shot. One more. Lock us.
Truck. Party on. Absolutely on truck. I'm out of ammo.
He's one shot on OS.
Fuck it.
Shot,
Dead.
Up.
I'm dead to him. Rocket ramp now.
One shot rocket ramp.
The last guy.
Nice. 3 dead. Fouls up. And John.
I'm watching tree. I'm looking tree. He's on rockets.
2 rocket ramp. 2 grapple. Their market.
I mean.
They're bumming your rockets.
You're by yourself, Boom.
I have shot it, guys. On shocks, I think.
Yeah, on shocks, John.
Nice, Boom. Boom shitting. Let's go.
They're doubles.
Get ready to pull, Boom. You're free to pull.
Tree.
I'm coming.
Let's go.
They're tree weak, Nick. Going your side.
No.
Watch out. He's
Kill him. He's one shot.
I hear you. He hasn't ran out. He'll die.
Elbow.
I'm going.
Live.
They're tree and they're dust. I'm dead.
I'm X.
To their tree.
Just play like a rat.
One went big.
Alright, he just spiked our tree.
As you heard Coach Trey try in the back, Bohm is defecating. Use a bit of a different word, but either way, Bohm is absolutely going off right now and really leading the charge for Oxygen. But as I say that, they do find themselves 2 down. Bohm now has to play a bit of defense here. FaZe are pushing up.
Just going to say, if Bohm was defecating, might want to get that checked out. But point is, though, Tony, there was something also that was being said by some of the members of Oxygen. Make yourself a hard kill. That is something that I cannot stress enough. That when you are able to pull attention your way, when you're able to force the team to have to bring resources to handle you and only you, that is the definition of making yourself a hard kill. And look at this here. Another overshield has been grabbed. 2 players down. This next round of slays can begin, and they got themselves another freaking overshield. It looks like Oxygen Esports, they're here to win a championship, Tony.
Not only were Oxygen Esports able to stay alive, but they put FaZe momentarily 4 down, now playing through it, being as patient as possible. The film review has paid off. FaZe are 3 down once again. Oxygen are running yet another flag.
Now, Tryon has a big battle, I believe, that's going to be happening over toward flag, because Renegade's still going to be located there. Collect's going to manage to bring the flag across, but the kill's going to come through. And a beautiful thruster from Collect to get away from that freaking brute nade, but he's finally going to get killed. 4 down for FaZe, Tony. They're going to go up by 2. That could be critical here for Oxygen.
Who are the favorites here?
Oh my God, I'm getting goosebumps, bro.
Esports up 2-0 right now to start off our championship Sunday. This is the moment that they've been waiting for. This is where champions are born.
And what the problem has been very clearly is that FaZe have had no mid-map presence. Oxygen Esports have dominated mid-control this entire time. And every chance that FaZe gets, they end up losing 2 players. And I'm seeing Oxygen approach this game kind of like the way that Cloud9 or even Optic Gaming play, where when they have one player, they'll go in there, put down some shots, and then another one comes in for the cleanup. If Oxygen keep doing that, they're going to win this bizarre CTF.
A 2-0 lead so far for Oxygen Esports. Collect having to deal with a Bulldog player
down.
not able to stay alive. 3 down go Oxygen and Spartan. Now going to advance that flag forward right toward the BR side. But hold on, Nemesis slows them down just a bit. Can't quite get the double kill, but that bit of a delay should buy time for Oxygen to overextend.
And this is going to be difficult as well because it should give Oxygen the option to be able to push into the palm trees of FaZe Clan's base. But it doesn't seem like anyone's going to be there to meet them. And in fact, this is going to be FaZe Clan bringing this game right back from the dead. And they managed to get 1 on the board finally. But look at the amount of effort it took for them to make that happen. They lost 3 players in the process, and Spartan is about to go down.
Not have to worry about the counter pull coming in, but luckily Oxygen weren't able to get in the base exactly in time. Another round of slays is what's necessary, but Oxygen seem to be ready. Spartan down to 1 shot. Plaza pistol charged up, ready for a fight right after. Trying, that's going to be a big kill. Gets himself a killing spree before going down, and Oxygen have been cleared out of the FaZe base.
And that was the definition of making yourself a hard kill, because Spartan was one shot. It looked like he was dead to rights. Drops back over to the flag, and then he gets that chart. He manages to hit it with the green gun, and then stops the push in its tracks. Had Spartan died there, who knows what would have ended up happening. But now we get a little bit of a reset, but this is where I gotta see FaZe start to take more mid-map control. They're gonna get these rockets. That's gonna spell doom and destruction potentially for Oxygen.
2-1 lead still in favor of Oxygen Esports with 3 minutes on the clock. We're seeing FaZe start to grind forward here. 3 members in Nick's sight, so I love the fact that he just backs down, stays alive. Be patient, the kills will come, especially when Renegade was able to get away with that rocket. The second one will fall for Oxygen. Half the members now on the black screen, the other half forced to rotate because FaZe are running their second flag.
And they're running it right into the loving hands there of Bohm, who has to make a stop happen some way, somehow, but it's not gonna happen. He goes down, and that's the problem when you face off against a team like FaZe. When you think you got yourself a lead, little do you know, it's gonna fall apart in a heartbeat there. A big trade is gonna come through. Is anyone around the vicinity to try and stop this? Falcated looking to go God mode here as he gets the kill on Nemesis. Flag's going to be open and available. He doesn't have a grapple shot to make it happen, but I love the sizzle sticks as they look to try and just quell this push, but the flag is going to continue to move, and now we're about to hit the 2-minute warning, but if this flag goes in, it's going to be tied 2-2, and we're tied 2-2.
A big start out of Oxygen Esports, but it's not how you start, it's how you finish, and the mid-game now belongs to FaZe. All of that momentum, all of that energy that Oxygen has been fighting for, down to nothing as Falcated ends up going down with the quickness. FaZe was trying to create some offense there, but end up going 3 down. This is Oxygen Esports' time to take advantage of these numbers. They have them 4 down. This needs to be a pull.
Yeah, and it seems like it is going to be a pull. They're going to look to prioritize this one over toward the alley. And I was going to say, at this point in time, this is where we need to see what Oxygen are going to be made of. Bohm had the read, by the way. He was waiting for the spawn from the player in the backfield. The player did pop up, but 2 members of Oxygen ended up getting the library spawn, came out behind them, and stopped that pull from happening there. That is going to allow FaZe to be able to charge this flag cross map as it goes to the halfway point, and it's going to start making its way to the FaZe clan side of the base. You have a minute left on the clock. Oxygen Esports, if you want to stop this, if you want a chance in this game, you have to dig deep here and now. But FaZe Clan are putting a brick wall in front of them. That's 3 flag caps back to back to back.
I was almost a believer, but I don't forgot who we're talking about. We're talking about King Nick, Falcated, Renegade, and Sparty. That dog. FaZe able to come up. 35 seconds on the clock, and now the question is, can Oxygen desperate across this map? Because they have to get at least 1 pull in order to force that sudden death. And as of right now, FaZe, they're on full defense mode.
Keyword you used there, Tony, was desperate. They have to get desperate, and Spartan and the rest of FaZe know this, so they could just hold the fort right now. They get themselves a few kills. It's going to be 2 players down. You have 15 seconds remaining here if you're Oxygen to make a play. Probably one of the most pivotal, important plays of your entire career. What are you made of now? Because Bohm gets the kill against Falcated, but no one's in the facility, or in the vicinity rather, to stop them. And there you have it. FaZe Clan, after getting hit right with a hook to the jaw, answer right back with 3 flag caps of their own and tell Oxygen, hey, slow your roll for right now.
Well, that's the one thing I like about FaZe. They understand the showmanship. They're like me, you know, they want to put on a show. So they obviously purposefully win down 2 flag caps just so they can cap back to back to back caps and put on a show for you guys at home. You know, honestly, guys, go ahead and at FaZe, go ahead and at Spartan and Renegade, and thank them for putting on an incredible show to start off our championship Sunday.
For real, man, that was a wild start that I simply just did not expect. Oxygen started off hot. I wanted to see them just continue this, right? They had the game plan, but I think what happened was, once they got that first flag cap in, they got a little too ambitious and weren't playing that more defensive, offensive style. They were constantly trying to force situations from happening, would sacrifice 2 bodies to make a flagpole happen. And at that point now you have FaZe, once they see those 2 players, they will fly across the map and they will abuse that. And that is exactly what they did. 2 flag caps for Oxygen in a row, but then FaZe get 3 that has to be demoralizing for Oxygen going into Live Fire Slayer.
It was that passive-aggressive play style from FaZe that net them those 3 flag caps in a row. But now on Live Fire Slayer, it's usually all aggression.
Yeah.
It can't slow down. You have to be able to hit your opponents multiple 2, 3, if not 4 down, identify those spawns, and then punish your opponents.
Yeah.
Live Fire Slayer, really the bread and butter for both of these teams, but I still have to give that slight advantage to FaZe because, man, they got that gun.
Yeah, I agree with you wholeheartedly. Although there were some standout Slayers in that bizarre CTF game, it's very hard to say that Oxygen will win a Slayer when they're playing against the likes of Spartan and Renegade, who are on the same team together. You know, even though they have different styles and approaches to how they play the game, I feel like it really does benefit the both of them, that they're just so hungry for the kills that when the player's in front of them, they'll chase after that kill and they will normally get it. But that is also where Falcated comes into play, because let's not forget, this is one of the best Slayers in the game. So he can just set up, allow his teammates to cause disruption, get the cleanup, as well as Nick. This is a very scary situation for Oxygen to be in, and they could go down 2-0. They're going to need to pull something out of the hat here.
I hate to be obvious when I say this, but this game is going to be played through that sniper rifle. We obviously know Nemesis wants to grab a hold of it and absolutely go off. But who else can do that? The likes of Spartan, the likes of Falcon, the likes of Renegade. Whoever has the sniper rifle in their hands the longest will most likely come out with the win in Oxygen Esports with a big start. They might be able to get first hands on that and the Overshield. Yeah,
Overshield's going to be coming up in a few moments here. With Collect managing to obtain himself the heat wave, he's going to look to patrol down low. And they'll just play this one out intelligently here. Good help as well from Collect. Falcated around the brute dummies here. Gets hit with that. It's going to be one shot around the corner, and the cleanup is there. Very clean play there from Collect. And now we got a 6-4 start, but the key here for FaZe is to not give up any of those deaths, and they give up the Overshield despite the incredible start. You simply cannot allow that to happen if you're Oxygen.
Overshield just gets stolen from Collect, and even his teammate standing by the dummies was almost dumbfounded. He stood still for a second, like, what just happened?
Just like the dummies in T-pose.
King Nick, no longer with that Overshield, but still having the full shields to be able to get aggressive onto the east side, finds himself a big 1-2 down for each of these teams, so this next play going to be so important.
What started off as a very, very strong opening strategy for Oxygen Esports, that lead has gone away. They were up at one point like 5-1, 5-2 to start the game. They had everything right. They had every position that you could possibly want, but that's the thing about FaZe. They're just built different, and they will take advantage of any opportunity that is going to be provided to them here. We had also asked about who were going to be the players that step up in this situation. We didn't really give the mention to King Nick. Meant no disrespect there, Nick. Obviously, you're surrounded by some god-tier Slayers, but we all know that he could do the business himself as well, and that's exactly what's happening at the start of this one.
The New Jersey duo of King Nick and Sparty always putting in that work, just proving that Jersey is just better, especially better than New York. Renegade.
How could you?
Ends up going down over toward the mid-side. Overshield
coming
up real soon. Oxygen pushing up quick. Nemesis steals that Overshield away. Nick not able to get the kill, and eventually Nick will go down here. Oxygen taking advantage of the resources.
Even with Tony's blatant slander, though, it doesn't stop Oxygen Esports, which, funny enough, they are a Boston ran org. So I guess I'm just surrounded here. But the point is, it seems as if with this Overshield, Nemesis is surrounding the entirety of FaZe Clan as those players are going to drop down, allowing Oxygen Esports to be able to get this lead. One player is going to be very weak, but at least he's able to get the kill. But I'm sure he would have been able to love to stay alive there to help out Collect in this situation. He's going to be so weak, and he doesn't have any help, but Collect is going to stay alive for the time being and keep this game tight.
People think the perfect counter to an Overshield is to green gun him, but in fact, it's to repulse him right off the map.
Especially a green. Yeah, it's green in its own right, you know, like you get the green gun or you repulse him at green. Either way, green isn't good for the Overshield.
But luckily, green is good for Oxygen. And right now, they're painting FaZe red with the blood. They're pushing up. They have the lead. They're trying to hold on to it, and Collect has that sniper rifle. Meanwhile, off the screen, Falcon and Renegade back-to-back kills, but Collect going right after one. Gonna take on the second one. Can't quite connect. That shot looked good to me.
Yo, my boy's out there trying to snap on some fools, and he almost got it. Collect's currently sitting at 7 kills right now. Nemesis at 9, so the Slayers are definitely doing the work here. And I got to give Triton a lot of credit as well, because Triton has been outstanding this whole tournament. A key component to this team, a big helper, and also a formidable Slayer in his own right here. Nemesis trying to get this help, but it doesn't come through. The Spartan manages to push it back, and Nick is just going to play with his food here over toward Green, but he can't play too long or else the rest of the plate's going to come to attack him.
Better watch out. Oxygen are hungry, and so is Nick with a beautiful shot. He's going to earn himself a killing spree. A bit of a noobler as well.
This is problematic.
2 members Oxygen Esports pushing up. Hold on.
Yeah, this is problematic. Look at the lead. It's 4 kills. You get 1 round of slays, you're back in the game. But the thing is with FaZe, they're not one of those teams that you could simply just kill 4 down just like that. They're always going to find value one way, shape, or form. So Oxygen Esports, the worst thing that they could do right now is turtle, which I don't think that's what they're doing. They're really just discussing where they're going to want to look to push now. And they're going to send themselves right over to Spartan, who's over toward back tower. He's also got the assist there from Renegade, but I like this that they're playing slow. They're not really giving any information, and Nemesis has some intel here. Oh my God! Renegade with the reads! Oh, he slid was ready for it.
Did he have the intel, or was FaZe just baiting him out right there?
No, he was waiting secret.
Security.
Oh my God! What a play! What a play. That could have been huge for Oxygen. Oh! It wasn't even like, it wasn't a tactical crouch. It was a delayed melee to the wall. Good God. They're running away with this one now, Tony. Hit him with the mist. King Nick, he's having the game right now. He's having the Slayer that he needed to have, because when King Nick is able to slay like this, that is when FaZe thrive. And everyone in FaZe knows this. So right now, they just got to let the king be the king.
When King Nick is going like this, FaZe looking unstoppable. As I say that the heat wave might stop him a bit, Renegade does end up going down right as that overshield is coming up. But luckily, Nemesis finds himself 1 kill that's going to be on Nick. I thought this should be a free overshield, but the flankers are coming in. FaZe are trying to get involved here. And eventually Nemesis goes down. What happened to that overshield?
Yeah, well, Renegade went to go grab it, and I think Bohm might be able to obtain it. So, yeah, Bohm does get overshield. I believe he has it. But the point is here is that FaZe can afford to slow this one down. They have a big lead of 7 kills currently. And yes, Bohm has it. Bohm gets OS. He doesn't really get much for it. All they're able to get out of this overshield is just 1 kill, and that was just an overzealous Renegade. He has to get this kill here. Whoa. And Bohm is successful in that venture, but Renegade manages to take a body in turn. That being said, it is a 4-kill lead. Oxygen can come back, but they have to play intelligently.
This once was a 44-36 game in favor of FaZe, but Oxygen Esports looking clean with the slays. That's going to be a killing spree by Bohm, but the cleanup crew does end up coming in. Collect once again, stealing that sniper rifle away. This C side of the map is going to be critical. If Oxygen Esports can hold this, they can come back. It is not too late.
Yeah, the game is in Collect's hands right now. It's going to be tough. Don't get me wrong. But he's got to hit these shots, and the BR is going to be true. Finds a target there as they're looking for another one. I believe that's going to be King Nick, who's down low. 3 players down. The respawns are coming up here. Collect's waiting to see. He finds a target there, gets a little antsy and goes for the shot, but it is a 3-kill lead. Oxygen can still come back into this game, but this next fight is going to be so important there as he looks for the shot, and Collect finds the number. Now he's got to push this opportunity here. Looks for another player up top. Sends the need forward with the repulsor. That's a 1-kill game, and they're right back in it, Tony.
This is not supposed to happen. They're not following the script. Oxygen Esports about to put on one of the most incredible comebacks that we've seen on Live Fire Slayer, but off the screen, Triton goes down. Oxygen Esports getting surrounded.
Where's the help?
Using them as bait, but eventually doesn't have the help he's looking for. And FaZe, they send multiple players to flood Oxygen Esports and collapse on them. That's a 2-0 win coming out of FaZe.
Beautifully played from FaZe, but I also have to be critical a little bit of Oxygen there, right? don't get me wrong, Collect was finding some shots, but that push to top mid, where they were right by Mangler, I have to wonder, what was the call there? Because you had 3 players from FaZe that were literally surrounded, and then Collect was looking, I'm assuming, for a flanker. But in that situation, I would want to take my best player. I want to take a guy who has one of the nastiest shots in the HCS and put him in that fight to try and find some cleanup kills. And he got there too late. He got there as his teammate was just surrounded by 3. So, man, FaZe right now, they are in a prime position, but it has been close, Tony, so many games.
And that's what I've really been so impressed by Oxygen Esports. Let's not forget, they had the 2-0 lead over FaZe at CTF Bazaar. They looked so good, even had the lead in Live Fire Slayer, although they weren't able to close it out. It has not been easy for FaZe. Oxygen Esports do have an opportunity to come back. Why don't we take a look at the stats? What are they telling you, GB?
Well, you know, I mean, obviously, Collect main slaying on the server right now, but that really doesn't matter if you hold an L. 4 kills, now that 4 players, the 4 kills that they could have gotten, that really comes back to bite them in the butt here, right? They had that opportunity, Oxygen did, and unfortunately for them, doesn't pan out. For FaZe Clan, though, this goes to show why they are one of the best teams in the world. They're able to dig deep in those situations, in those moments where things look like maybe they're not going to quite go their way. They know that they have the resource to be able to do it, and I got to give all the love in the world to King Nick, who started off that game strong and ended it strong.
I don't know, security, if you can hear me. Security, I want to send someone over to the restroom because I just saw all members of FaZe and all members of Oxygen Esports going in the same direction.
It's going to be a very uncomfortable, you know,
I'm just saying.
Bio break.
They say, let's finish this off with the fisticuffs, melees only.
Yeah, right. We get in there, we're just like, all right, everyone, time to throw down, right? It's like Footloose or Grease or I don't know. Trying to think of some terrible reference. There, of course, the FaZe fans coming out strong here.
That's Izzy scouting. Okay. Look at that sign. That's so
yeah,
good.
I've been seeing it all weekend long. It's super sick.
Oh, and she has a tattoo. I'm sorry, she has a haircut right now. Literally, the FaZe logo is in her hair.
That's cool.
With the red dye and everything. It's actually really sick.
I did too, but I lost all my hair, so it went away. So, yeah, but you know, man, what a game we've gotten so far. Wild to think that this could have been 2-0 for Oxygen. That's how close this whole series has been. That's how close this weekend has been. Every team has been so unbelievably competitive through and through.
Yeah, at this point, I don't count anybody out.
No, not at all.
I really
Whoa, look at that. There
it is. I told you the haircut.
Yeah, I had one as well, but it went away with age, you know? So
I'm gonna get a FaZe tattoo on my neck.
Oh, you're going to do that? Pull a Cody Rhodes, just do it, just put the tattoo right in the neck there? You know, he's a friend, I can say that. You know, oh yeah, FaZe up, bro, you know? But here are some overall stats here, and I have to say, man, King of the Hill has been pretty strong for Oxygen stats-wise, right? They perform when they need to, but I'm a little worried about strongholds, and I believe we have that in our series. FaZe is like their means of being able to control is so devastating, and as you saw in the stats there, they slay out. And unfortunately for Oxygen, strongholds is next.
It's a really weird situation because the favorable game types that go towards Oxygen Esports are the same ones that FaZe want to see as well. So even though I love Oxygen Esports on strongholds, I also love FaZe on stronghold, so this very much can be a 3-0.
And who would you bet in this situation, right? It's no disrespect to Oxygen, but you got to go with FaZe. You got to go with Renegade, with a champion, with Spartan, you know, King Nick, Falcated. You got to go with those guys. I totally get it. Street Strongholds, though, is going to be the battleground for map number 3, and at this point in time, Oxygen are going to have to find that magic again, that magic that they have managed to find time in, time out, and they're going to have to pull off a reverse sweep. Some say it's impossible.
And just to remind you guys at home, you know, obviously we saw Oxygen Esports go on a miraculous run. We obviously see the likes of FaZe here. This is the elimination bracket. It's go big or go home.
True.
Oxygen Esports so far trying to make that incredible run, almost like Native Red. Those are the 2 storylines so far coming in.
Cinderella stories.
But FaZe have legitimately been in that championship conversation ever since they put this roster together, and I know they're upset about being in the elimination bracket this early. They definitely wanted to make a run as far as possible in the upper.
Yeah, I mean, look, well, obviously no one wants to lose, right? But sometimes, you know, Clutch had said it best, sometimes some players, they thrive in these lower bracket situations where they know that, you know, every single kill, every single play, it's basically life or death in this tournament. So I think that now we're starting to see what FaZe are made of, where when things start to get really bad and they know, like Oxygen is the type of team that they can press their advantages, and they're so good at doing so because they have that energy, right? They have that anxiousness to do it, right? And FaZe are kind of letting them make those mistakes. We saw it in the Bizarre CTF game. We also saw it at the tail end of that Slayer Livefire game. But Oxygen can't make that mistake now in Strongholds. And FaZe, if they get that opening, they're going to beat them down.
We've said it time and time again. Pressure can create diamonds, but it can also burst pipes. I'm going to find out what happens when the lights are brightest. $1 million on the line. The players are getting ready here. You see them on screen. We already saw some body disrespect coming out of King Nick. I'm just saying, FaZe, hey man, they must be feeling good.
He was having a banger game, so I don't blame him. I really don't blame him. But this is it. It's do or die now for FaZe Clan. Excuse me. It's do or die now for Oxygen Esports. For FaZe Clan, they could walk away with a clean 3-0 sweep. And while it wasn't necessarily the cleanest, when we all look at the history books, we're not going to remember the nuances of the game. We're just going to see the numbers, and the numbers show that after 2 games in this series, FaZe have had Oxygen's number. But this is it, folks. It's Oxygen's time to shine, or FaZe could very well put out that light.
When you're looking for a gigabanger of a game or some ramen, you go to the streets of Mombasa, and that's where we go for our game number 3, potentially the final time we'll see Oxygen Esports on this stage here in the World Championship. Double cap coming in early out of FaZe. Nemesis looking to take control of the map.
Oh man, and they start off so slow. I needed to see more energy from Oxygen out of the break here. They lose Bulldog, they lose Rockets, and hell, I think they're also going to lose this Stalker control too. They also get trip capped, thus forcing Oxygen to have to go after A. Spartan was just over there and he's kind of kicking himself, but them's be the ropes sometimes in Halo, as Spartan does manage to find one target there with the rocks, uses that one, and here's the problem, Tony. FaZe have still obtained this trip cap, so Oxygen, they have done nothing. They got the reset. This is bad.
Oxygen Esports find out that Sparty indeed has that dog in him. Working so far, 2 kills. The third one's gonna fall as well. The perfect too much for Oxygen Esports to handle a trip cap in favor of FaZe. Finally, Oxygen able to make it to the Charlie side of the map, but it gets stopped. Oxygen go half down, and Renegades coming in with the Bulldog.
They're about to hit 100 points, and they're gonna stop Triton right at the back steps here. This is a very uncomfortable fight in the alley, right in the stairway. You certainly don't want to be in against Renegade. He gets to melee, 100 points and counting. They're gonna capture C, forcing the spawns over toward A, but look at where those players from Oxygen are popping up. Renegade's got the read on red. You also saw players spawning toward Cafe and PD, thus sending Triton back to the depth screen. That's going to have to prompt a desperation B capture.
Triton going down once again. Me and him having the same amount of kills at this point in the game. And so far, me and Oxygen having the same amount of points. A double cap still being held by FaZe. They consistently hold on to these numbers. Oxygen are struggling to get these frags.
You know, is this how Oxygen wants to go out? Surely not. This team has had a Cinderella run here in Seattle. They had a Cinderella run in Orlando. At this point now, they're a Disney story come to life. And if they don't just start to put something together here, this game is going to be over before they know it. Their world's hope dies if they get goose egged on Streets King of the Hill. Surely not like this, Tony.
The defenses have been breached Boston style.
Killing Frenzy!
Gets himself a killing frenzy. A double kill, even tries to get out alive. Finally able to take Renegade down, his first death so far in this game, but it's been all FaZe Clan. This is not just a game. This is not just a series. This is a message, a statement being made
After the first 2 games, Tony, it looked like Oxygen Esports was so competitive with FaZe, but now FaZe are about to cross a 200-point threshold, completely unchallenged. Oxygen Esports are laying a goose egg in Seattle, and I just didn't think that gooses were plentiful out here. This is not the situation I thought we find ourselves in. Unbelievable. They're slapping them. They are slapping them.
Stronghold 217 to 0 run in favor of FaZe, and at this point, I don't think Oxygen can win. I just want them to get a point.
Yes.
Not like this. This has been such an incredible series. The first 2 games, they were obviously in it. In fact, they had the lead, and I don't know what has happened, but I don't like it. Renegade is absolutely running amok right now, almost able to get himself a triple kill, but the Oxygen go 3 down nonetheless. Time is ticking. This might be a goose.
This is it. You got to do this right now. Do you really want to go out of Seattle with a goose egg? They get the trip cap again, and Renegade and FaZe Clan are absolutely abusing Oxygen Esports. What a collapse of one of the best teams in the world. But FaZe showing why they're trying to fight for a world title, and just like that, we see a 0 scoreline there. Can anyone get into B? Renegade's gonna go into C. He's gonna force his movement, and he's in it. They got 1 point, a breadstick, a couple of bakers, and if they don't stop this now, this game is as good as over.
At this point, we need to see perfect Halo now being played by Oxygen Esports. They have
immaculate Halo.
Cap. They have themselves the momentum, but they don't have a Renegade. 3 down, go FaZe, but the same for Oxygen Esports. Falcon wanted to get that final kill before they push up, but now Falcon's under pressure. He's hopping on the B side. He's gonna force Oxygen Esports to make a move.
Falcon is waiting for the push now. Where's the challenge? How do they get this uncontested? He was over toward PD! What the hell? And that is it! A statement has been made! FaZe Clan says Oxygen packing. They packed the bags for them. They checked out of the hotel, and they told them, get the hell out of Seattle. This is my city.
They're dead! They're out of Oxygen! FaZe have sucked all the oxygen out of the room. A 3-0 sweep by
Unbelievable.
FaZe.
Unbelievable. After games 1 and 2, if you would have told me that Oxygen gets near goose egg on Streets King of the Hill, I would have told you that you are mental. And here we are now. They not only they win 3-0, but that was sad. That was honestly sad. That was not what I wanted to see from Oxygen. I'm a big fan of all 4 of those players, and it makes me real sad to have seen that play out like that.
It's sad for Oxygen Esports, but it's great for one team. It's absolutely amazing for one team, and that's gonna be FaZe. They move forward. They've been in champ. I'm just saying.
Where did this come from? How'd you get a shirt thrown at you?
I'm a big deal. You didn't know?
Oh my God, this guy. Tony Rose, ladies and gentlemen.
I call for something. Let me get $1 million. Hold on.
No,
it don't work for that.
Yeah, Tashi wasn't giving that to us.
They gotta get the suitcase.
Okay, good enough. But right now, FaZe Clan are trying to fight for a suitcase full of money of their own. 250 to 17. They weren't even old enough to drink. That is just sad. I'm shocked. But if there's one thing that I want to see, it's the best of the best playing for the largest prize in our esport. And FaZe Clan certainly showed us why they belong in the conversation for a world championship. There were a lot of question marks in games 1 and 2. For sure, and they'll go back to the drawing board and try and improve it, but they have to be so pleased with themselves for that utter shutdown that they have done to Oxygen Esports on Streets.